Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, longtime astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. In this episode, I'm going to give an astrological overview of the summer months here in the Northern Hemisphere, June through August 2022. So stay tuned. Welcome to the episode on the astrology of the summer months here in the Northern Hemisphere and the winter months in the Southern Hemisphere. As my musician friend, Aldous Collins, lead singer of the Aldous Collins Band, sings, "I love you, summer." I'll let you know the cosmic currents for June, July, and August, and also hint when the crypto markets will start rising again. I'll be doing separate podcasts for cryptocurrency in the coming months, as well as releasing the individual Astro Update forecast episodes for each month individually. I want to remind listeners to go to my website, www.jilljardineastrology.com-free-resources, and sign up for a free Dharma report, which will explain your life purpose based on your sun sign. Sign up for my newsletter and keep posted on astrological updates in the coming months and receive free content. The overall vibe of these months, June, July, and August, is more optimistic than the previous months and offers more upliftment and inspiration. Ecliptic energies are still whirling in June, with stabilization seeping in at the solstice. The outer planets of Neptune and Pluto, with Jupiter and Saturn, will be traveling retrograde during June through August, which will calm things down and give us time to breathe, relax, and recalibrate. Uranus joins them going retrograde in late August. These months offer opportunities to reassess, reestablish, and revisit plans for a brighter future. The continual crisis mode and collective conundrums of early 2022 interfered with the positive post-pandemic possibilities. War in Ukraine, shortages, price hikes, failing stock markets, and crashing cryptocurrencies were disturbances in the force, as well as big buzz killers. The tower has crashed, and now the 2022 salvage crew is here to pick up the pieces in the next few months. Pluto, traveling retrograde through Capricorn until October, restructures and provides the proverbial phoenix rising from the ashes. I'll be focusing on the lunar activity of the 3 months of June through August, specifically the new moons and full moons, as there will be big shifts happening during each of these full moons as a chapter closes. I'll also give the information on major planetary stations. I'll outline these astro events and then go back and give more details. Let's start with June, coming soon with a powerful full moon. All these dates are given in the United States Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So in June 2022, we have Mercury going direct in Taurus on June 3rd. On June 4th, Saturn goes retrograde in Aquarius. On June 14th, there's a full moon with the sun in Gemini and moon in Sagittarius. Get ready for the summer solstice shining in on June 21st. On June 22nd, Venus transits into Gemini. June 28th is a busy day as Neptune retrogrades until December 3rd, 2022, and it's a new moon in the sign of Cancer. June jumps into action, still reeling from eclipse revelations and reversals. Early June features Astro antics as Mercury goes direct in Taurus on June 3rd and jaunts into Gemini fast forward with a home court advantage just in time for the full moon on June 14th. Mercury emerges from the shadow retrograde cycle, ready to rock and roll in mid-June. Information pours forth from the messenger's mouth, and information is spewed out that can cause reconsideration of events and situations that have been featured in the fear factory of mainstream media and other modes of messaging. The day after Mercury goes direct, Karmic Lord Saturn takes toll through October, collecting karmic debts from those who conjured collective crisis, manufactured Machiavellian moves, and played us in their greed-grabbing games for these past months and years. Saturn retrograde revives us as we review what the leap has transpired since 2020 and how can we take control back of our collective situations and personal lives. Aquarian Saturn retrograde regains revolutionary awareness to arrest control agendas of the old order. Remember, Aquarius is a rebellious and unconventional astral archetype, and nobody is going to put baby in a corner when Saturn in Aquarius rules the roost. Aquarius's ruling planet Uranus is in Taurus, turning up the heat, activating the 2021 Uranus square Saturn during the month of June and through the remainder of 2022, stirring social unrest and waking the sleeping giant of group action-oriented Aquarian awareness. Uranus is also creeping closer to conjunction with the moon's north node in Taurus this summer, pointing to new directions and financial reboots. Full moon with moon in Sagittarius and Sun in Gemini occurs on June 14th, which is the communication axis in astrology. This full moon is about communication, attitude, and sense of adventure. Bring on some Gemini joy and sassy Sagittarian scoring. Sagittarius moon asks that we look at the big picture and gaze into our future with the help of retrograde Saturn in Aquarius, trining the Gemini sun and aligning with the moon in Sagittarius. The Sabian symbol for the moon at 23 degrees Sagittarius is, quote, a group of immigrants as they fulfill the requirements of entrance into the new country. The keynote here is consciously accepting the ways of a new stage of experience in readiness for the opportunities it will present. In other words, look for opportunities to expand your horizons. 2 years of pandemic limited movement, keeping us secluded from others for fear of catching COVID and restricted our travels and day-to-day forays. So now the world is our oyster again. Enjoy traveling in the summer of 2022. This Sabian symbol for this full moon is an indicator of the energies for the next few months. Everyone seems to be implementing big changes right now, such as selling homes, moving, getting married, now that the marriage venues are open again, quitting jobs, and making other major life decisions. For those of us who understand frequency and energy, we are raising our vibration to new levels, transitioning into fifth dimensional consciousness, which requires new modes of being in our life and our bodies. The solstice beams in on June 21st at 5:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, marking the beginning of summer in the Northern Hemisphere and the beginning of winter down under. The sun is at its peak and we are reborn. The ancients would honor the solstices as summer festivals, usually with fires, frolicking, and food. In esoteric teachings, the summer solstice is considered a time to awaken spiritual inspiration and stimulate the development of conscious, etheric visions of inner planes. It's a good time to create more harmony and unity in various areas of life. There is a greater opportunity to work and commune with the nature kingdom and those beings who work with humanity through it. Energies are released that manifest opportunities for confidence, strength, and hope, and allows for greater expansion of intuitive faculties. Mercury shifts into Gemini the day after the solstice on June 22nd, making merry plans for the summer and planning trips and outings. New moon in Cancer flows in on June 28th, and lunar tides are warm and welcoming as the moon comes back to home shores in Cancer. Get out on the water, swim, sail, paddle, or just lounge on the beach. Take in the healing Cancerian currents. The water element flows smoothly, reminding us to relax, release stress, and stop pushing agendas. If you have been working too hard and caught up in the feeding frenzy after Mercury shifted into Gemini, take time out to reassess. Trust your intuition and instincts. Jupiter in Aries exactly squares the moon and sun in Cancer, which may bring out the selfish side in yourself or others. So chill out and be kind. Here's the update for July 2022 with the key dates in U.S. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. On July 5th, Mars transits into Taurus until August 20th. Also on July 5th, Mercury transits into Cancer until July 19th. July 13th brings a full moon with the Sun in Cancer and Moon in Capricorn. On July 17th, Venus transits into Cancer. On July 19th, Mercury transits into Leo. On July 28th, there's a new moon with the Sun in Leo. And on July 28th, Jupiter goes retrograde until November 23rd. Martial Mars and genial Jupiter have been igniting fires and stirring conflict in the fiery, impulsive sign of Aries. Mars stamps out the flames as he is grounded now in Taurus to chill out and contemplate and rethink his rash acts. Mars feels like a caged tiger in the sedate and serene sign of the boring bull. Give Mars a job to do, like fulfilling desires or acquiring more money or throwing a lavish party, and he'll be quite content until August 20th when he jolts into Gemini and wants some action. Mercury creeps into Cancer on July 5th, taking care of the home front and keeping the property pristine. Mercury urges to reconnect with those friends and family members you have kept at bay. Time to play with Mercury in Cancer, but a full moon in Capricorn brings the work life back into focus. Real estate markets are still booming leading up to the full moon on July 13th with the Sun in Cancer and Moon in Capricorn. Moon and Pluto in Capricorn force re-evaluation of the outer life, specifically business and money matters, while Sun and Mercury in Cancer focus on the inner life and comfort. This full moon asks us to look at how we can feel more comfortable and secure in our life, whether it is from reorganizing the business and financial aspect of life to provide more security, or looking inward for a sense of peace and stability from within. Venus joins the Cancerian crew on July 17th, sprucing up the home environs for summer soirees and relaxing respites. Venus in Cancer is prone to overindulge with sweets and treats. She worked so hard in Gemini, and now she wants to enjoy the fruits of her labors and play hooky. July 28th is an astrological action-packed day, but most will want to just play, as Jupiter goes retrograde at the new moon in Leo. Jovial giant Jupiter retreats in Aries, backtracking for the next 4 months, quelling collective fires. Reevaluate, recalibrate, realign your plans for expansion and financial futures. The Leo new moon of July 28th inspires, uplifts, and opens portals through the Lion's Gate of 8-8 on August 8th. Get your creative groove back and don't procrastinate. Leo rules the heart, so find your heart leading you in your activities during this time and don't overthink. This is a good time to go out to play and have some fun in the sun. The Sabian symbol of this new moon at 5 degrees Leo is, quote, rock formations tower over a deep canyon. The keynote is the structuring power of elemental forces during the long cycle of planetary evolution. We may need to prepare for some elemental weather conditions in the coming months, including more fires, high winds, hurricanes, earthquakes, and more, as our human consciousness is forced to evolve. And I just want to say something for those cryptocurrency listeners out there. July is when the market will start bouncing back big time. July, August, and September. And this new moon in Leo on July 28th kicks things up and gets them moving. No more down cycles and slowly going up through October. So stay tuned. Here are the key dates for August 2022. An overview. On August 4th, Mercury transits into Virgo. On August 8th, the Great 8-8 Lion's Gate portal opens. During August, from the 4th through the 22nd, 4 planets are in dignity in home signs, including the Sun in Leo, Mercury in Virgo, Saturn in Aquarius, and Neptune in Pisces. It's go time. Full moon blasts in on August 11th with the Sun in Leo and Moon in Aquarius. The same day, Venus transits into Leo. On August 20th, Mars transits into Gemini until March 2023. Long time to be in Gemini due to a long retrograde cycle of Mars in Gemini. August 24th, Uranus goes retrograde. August 25th, Mercury transits into Libra, and on August 26th, there's a new moon in Virgo. August offers a month of introspection as 4 of the 5 traditional outer planets are traveling backward, including Jupiter retrograde in Aries, Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, Neptune redux in Pisces, and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And Uranus goes retrograde on August 24th. Rest up and relaxed in the Leo sun before late month accelerations into September. August is ushered in under the auspicious stars of Sirius, and Mercury shifts into Virgo on August 4th, bringing forth mystic messages on 8-8, the Lion's Gate, when doors to manifestation open wide. Here's my interpretation of the Lion's Gate 8-8. The Lion's Gate is a big portal date, 8-8, in the galactic consciousness community, which blasts open from the time that the Sun transits into Leo, this year on July 22nd, peaking at the date of 8-8. Right after it, on the 11th, we're going to have the Leo full moon this year. This moon in Aquarius and Sun in Leo. The portal's activated every year during the Leo equinox, or as the Sun transits the sign Leo, forcing purification of mind, body, and spirit in order to squeeze through the eye of the needle. If one is ready to shift through this portal, or eye of the needle, you will be liberated from fear-based third-dimensional realities and outworn polarities. Dualities or agendas, including politics, pharmaceutical power grabs, including the growing pharmacracy and technocracies emerging in our world, and the geo-global paradigms. The Lion's Gate of 8-8 opens the infinity codes, 8 being a number of cosmic consciousness and manifestation, and infinite expansive nature of our universe. 8 is also the number associated with DNA activation, abundance, prosperity consciousness, soul realization, and takes us out of duality. The full moon in Aquarius with the Sun in Leo arrives on August 11th as Venus jumps into the Lion Gate Leo limelight the same day. Let your light shine, no holds barred. We are straddling the past and the future, and the outcomes depend on the release and rejection of old patriarchal paradigms and control agendas. Ride the waves of intergalactic consciousness to freedom here on planet Earth. Our galactic community is waiting for humanity to step it up and step out of the third-dimensional messy matrix. But if the masses don't awaken, they've agreed to accelerate us humans who have been doing the self-actualization work, shared the vibrational tools and techniques, and are lifting ourselves to higher frequencies of consciousness. There are many who are on the evolutionary fast track out of third-dimensional enslavement programs and now being accelerated and elevated by higher dimensional energies. Mars blasts through the Gemini time-space portal on August 20th, where it will have an extended stay until March 2023 due to a long retrograde cycle from November through January. Here we go. Mars is the warrior and becoming the fact finder. revealing information that was distorted and non-disclosed regarding certain procedures and practices during the pandemic, as well as the hidden numbers of people who have suffered from injuries and death due to other interventions. The Pandora's box of secrets is unsealed, and Saturn in Aquarius is ready to rebel with Gemini Mars. Uranus goes retrograde on August 24th, marking the fifth planet to be retrograde this summer into the fall. The Virgo new moon arrives August 26th, auguring augmentation in health and wellness regimes. Amp up those immune systems, tweak your supplement and diet routine to deflect those viral invaders. Of course, if you listen to the news, you can be sure the next variant of COVID is being trotted out to the masses for the fall season, just in time as schools reconvene and germs are shared indoors among groups. Virgo new moon fosters a get back to business approach to the next season as attention and focus shifts to getting shit done. I hope you enjoyed this episode on the astrology of June through August 2022. Make sure you subscribe, download, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, sending cosmic currents into the quantum field.